In the winter of 1910, Professor Crawford Tillinghast mounted an expedition into the mountains of Europe. He went searching for a lost village, shrouded in the myths and rumors of a bygone era. This is his story. Welcome, my wandering souls. I'm Ailith Knight, and this is From Beyond, Prologue. This is an old NES-inspired kind of point-and-click horror game. It's supposed to be a horror game, but I don't think there's any jump scares in it. So, as per usual, I don't really know what I'm getting myself into, so I'm just going to jump on in. Deep within the recesses of the Bradford Library, Professor Crawford Tillinghast, anthropologist, was immersed in archaic tomes and long-neglected records, searching for a specific line of scientific inquiry. His investigations eventually uncovered a thread for further scrutiny. The subject was a seldom mentioned and consistently obscured medieval village from brief mentions in the ancient tomes. He ascertained it was a place enlivened with the exchange of ideas, populated with practitioners that experimented in the power of channeled thought. Descriptions of grand ceremonies, a bizarre temple, and interactions with unearthly beings filled the professor with both exuberance and trepidation. After further research and endless lambasting from his colleagues, he mounts a one-man expedition in the winter of 1910. August 29, 1910. The heavy pull, the brake engages, and your motorcar shudders to a stop. You kill the engine and step out of the vehicle. If your calculations are correct, you should be making a career-establishing discovery forthwith. This is cool. Got a little compass down here. It's the game. Look. Do I look here? Your motor vehicle sits cooling after a long drive. Can I look up here? The splendor of this cliffside mountain view would be quite captivating if not for the stiff, icy breeze whipping your face. I don't have anything to use. Can I talk to my car? No answer. Can I take something? I don't need it. Okay. Can I open? I open the car. Okay. Now maybe I can take the backpack. Alright. Matches, compass, sheath knife, light hatchet, dried meat, pistol. Light hatchet, dried meat, pistol, hip flask, 120 proof, rope, and lantern. Useful stuff. Do I close my car now? No? Is there anything else to see? No. Do I move? Crunch of crisp snow underfoot, sting of piercing winter air. You adjust your scarf and head into the woods. Okay. Winter's cold breath blows the trees. Small clumps of snow shed from the swaying frosted pines. A deer trail branches right from the long overgrown ancient trade route that lies before you. I'm good at reading. Deer tracks. The fresh set leads right. Trees tower above you, and the evening sun illuminates the forest floor. Fresh deer tracks shoot off to the right of the trail. This is an interesting way of, getting around and stuff. So, the deer tracks go off that way. I'm guessing this should take me back to the car, I think. Is that right? Yeah. Okay. I'm trying to learn the kind of layout of stuff. So I can either follow this forward, or it looks like I can follow the deer tracks. I'm gonna follow the deer tracks. You follow the deer tracks. They lead to a small clearing. You hear the cries of wolves in the distance. In this area, you see a series of paw prints trailing off in every direction. A thicket of briar is to the right, blocking the entrance to the forest canopy. So I can either keep going forward. So, quadrupeds, large paws in the Canidae family, wolves. This deer trail continues forward and towards a clearing. The tracks look staggered and deep, like the animal was panicked. Makes sense, it was probably being pursued by wolves. Okay. With these first strokes of my pen, I established my field research journal to formally document my discoveries and adventures. It is a brisk day, and I truly did myself no favor in setting out before the spring thaw. I feel confident that my preparations were adequate to ensure the success of my expedition. Good to know. And keep going on this. You exit the twisted wood of the tree line and stand at a cliff's edge. To the west, you see the remains of a watchtower, and below you see sprawling ruins with a dark spire standing ominously in its center. A bloody deer carcass lies steaming in the snow in front of you. Okay, so I'm guessing that's the village where I'm going. A deer has been brutalized and its hindquarters ripped away. And the body lies steaming in the snow, heat still rising from the fresh kill. It's a bit gruesome. A dark spire stands ominously in sharp contrast to the glistening snow-capped village ruins surrounding it. I want to explore everything in this game, so I'm going to go back and go forward this time and see where this goes. That was a bad idea. Reaching the end of the trail, you stand in front of the mountain's edge. A 2-story tower with a terrace stands next to a switchback trail. A wolf stands between you and the tower. Use the knife. Use the knife. Here. How do I do things? Come on. I'm confused. I don't know how to work this thing. Use pistol. Use. You take aim and fire your pistol. Winter has just begun. It was a mercy killing. Aww. I mean, it's not his fault, but he didn't look very friendly. What's this? An old barrel sits next to the tower. A thick rope dangles from the watchtower's terrace. So can I go into the watchtower? Okay, so it looks like this will lead back down to the village. That's nice. Unfortunately, the rope has rotted away towards the bottom. It frays and rips, failing to carry your weight. This leaves the first climbable portion just out of reach. It's unfortunate. The howl of wind and wolves fill the air as you approach the narrow switchback trail that leads down the mountainside. Well, that's not good. Treading down the switchback, the winds kick up. One unfortunate misstep later, the edge of the trail gives way. You plummet to the ground below. White fades to black. Your head throbs and your body aches. You cough, blink, and when light hits your eyes, a new burning white sensation greets them. The shapeless white blur slowly comes into focus and forms a snow-covered field. You lay at the bottom of the mountain. The trail has partially avalanched behind you and your bag is missing. My bag is right there, though. You pick up your field bag, taking a quick inventory. It appears you have lost several pieces of gear in the fall. So if I had not done that, I probably wouldn't have lost all my stuff. If I had just gone on and gone through the clearing. But I wanted to see what else there was. It was interesting. Oh, I've got a pistol and a sheath knife. Alright. Plodding through the snow, you can see that the farm has been abandoned for ages. The roof has collapsed on the northern half of the building. Okay. Do I particularly need to look around anymore? The barn has partially collapsed. Its front door hangs off its hinges, threatening to fall with each blow of the frigid wind. Cool. Go this way. The structure appears on the verge of total collapse. You crouch and stick your head in. While the barn has partially collapsed, numerous joists and stalls are stabilizing the roof and walls. It appears structurally sound enough for a quick peek. The floor is filled with farming equipment, sacks and barrels. In the corner, skirting a row of stalls, sits a pile of clutter. Oh, look at the clutter. Is there anything useful? Can I take the clutter? This mound makes no sense. The items in this pile seem randomly selected. Many items appear to be whole and in working order, so you decide it is not a junk pile. After considering why fine furniture and working farm equipment would be heaped together with rocks and detritus, you realize the one aspect they share. You conclude that their heavy weight is the only common feature. Rolling up your sleeves, you begin separating the items. After clearing the clutter, you discover a thick wooden hatch door secured with a sturdy lock. A yellowed note is tacked to the door. Well, look at the note. Take the note so you can read it. You pluck the note from a nail. Scanning the vellum, you find a warning. Danger, do not open. And you turn the note over and find this side has an enumerated bill of sale. The header reads, Mr. Frederick Mercer bought of Foreman Brothers and Brown dealers and all types of grain, flour, and feed for sale. I think I'm going to listen to it right now and not open that, not even try. Back up we go. Let's go this way. 3 ramshackle single-room wooden dwellings stand near the frozen field. Snowdrifts have engulfed the back of the shacks in a sweeping mound. Their roofs bow under the weight of the snow. These huts likely once housed farm laborers. Beaten up by weather and time, they are far too structurally unsound to enter. Noted. You stand at a cobblestone road intersection. 4 homes lay smashed. Piles of debris form large mounds in the center of each foundation. The hell? Hail, salutations, and well met, fellow person. I have been watching ye. Ye need not flee nor panic. I be here to converse well in the essence of, if not practice. Do stop backing away and flailing. There be nowhere to run, and no need of it. I do hope ye can comprehend me. My vernacular may well be dated. Worry not, I will adjust as we get to know each other. When ye be better adjusted, seem ready, I'll stop by for another visit. Chat? Fascinating. You stride towards the 2-story building made of thick stone blocks with smashed lead-light windows. A fallen sign is engraved with a stein spouting 3 stalks of wheat. The traditional image identifies this building as a tavern. Cool. Let's go in. The tavern windows appear to have been broken from the outside. The lead work bows inwards with most of its glass missing. Okay. Can I climb in? Well, that's gruesome. The tavern looks like a war zone. The furniture is splintered or wedged against the entry doors and windows. The stairs have been completely destroyed. You're not even gonna mention this? Hello? Drawn in blood is a star with a flame inside of it. A skeleton hangs in a noose from the rafters. Drawn in blood is a star with a flame inside it. The symbol is directly below the skeleton. This is some demonic shit. I'm leaving. I mean, I don't know what I expected. This clearly said it was a horror game, so. Let's see. A whitewashed stone cottage sits weathered and decayed. One wall has collapsed, leaving the interior exposed to snow and scouring wind. The trail steadily wends its way north, passing a series of dead trees. The path ends at the mountain's base. You see the exterior of a mine. And the brakes of the minecart are engaged. Upon further inspection, you see the cart is mounted on guiding rails and the brake lever is missing. A dilapidated shed. The roof has caved in and the structure is filled to the top with snow. Cool. What is this? Oh, look at it. You don't want to? Or you just... It's just... Alright. Let's go this way. A windowless, monolithic black spire thrust towards the heaven. It stands in stark contrast to the glistening white snow surrounding it. Snow that leads upon the spire melts immediately. You feel warmth radiating from it. We're going to go not there for a moment. We're going to go here. You slog your way through the snow towards the barn. The doors are wedged open. Wind whips through this spacious gateway. Whistles sound through the many holes where the planks and shingles have long since given up their perches on the walls and roof. More gruesome. Inside, the barn is a collection of barrels, drays, and bones. Everything is covered in a light dusting of snow. A plow lays next to the side wall with an assortment of old mining equipment. Is there anything I can use? And broken barrels filled with nondescript detritus sit in the corner against the back wall. It appears that they may have been smashed when the wall was breached. And the plow has deteriorated. Most of the wood has rotted and fallen apart. And examining the equipment, you find it decayed and mostly worthless. The one exception is a pickaxe, which has made it through the years, only superficially rusted. Well, can I take that then? Cool. Is there anything in the barrels to take? I don't need it, no. A wrecked minecart and heaps of scattered ore. Useless then. A cart loaded with ore sits at the back wall next to the small office. The simple wooden door to the office is closed, window shuttered. Well, can I... No, you don't need it, but I meant to click that. The door bows, but does not give. It is barred from the inside. Can I open the shutters? Ah. Behind the window, you find a skeleton sitting in a wooden chair at a desk facing you. It is missing an arm. Desiccated blood stains cover the room. Now, this may be too soon, but alas, we may not have the luxury of You have noticed a series of horrific incidents occurred in this town. I have continued to observe your explorations and found that you are an astute fellow. Gathering evidence and cataloging locations will only get you so far. I can help you uncover the truth in a more visceral manner. Thanks. Okay. Well, I'm just gonna go back now. I guess it's time to go up here. Follow the trail around. No. Wait. What? No. Well, maybe. No. And the rickety remains of a small flume. The mine entrance has collapsed and is covered with snow and debris. Am I supposed to go into the mine? I don't know. I'm going the wrong directions. I get in here, and you feel around the door, but fail to find any handle. Hello, fellow person. I have enjoyed perusing your brain. I shall endeavor to know you even better, and soon. What a jolly era you existence in. Those are words. Existence in. It's charming and quite quaint. As you have been such a generous host, I shall grant you a boon in kind. My gifts may be considered overly grand and even magnanimous, but the response can be overwrought. Do you like this tower? They worshipped me as a deity after construction. You may have gathered that. This minaret is an anachronistic architectural anomaly. Consider the structure as a tuning fork or battery jar for particular specific energies. It was purely practical from my standpoint, truly a gift that cut both ways. Do keep guard of your corporeal form. We will need it. Noted. I guess I'm going this way then. So can I use the pickaxe over here? No. Nothing? Okay. So do I have to go down into the creepy... No, wrong clicker. Go back. Go back. Turn. Go this way. Okay. Can I use the pickaxe here? Open. The hatch door will not open. It is secured closed with a sturdy lock. Yes, I noticed. Is there anything new in here? Glorious. At the bottom of the cliff lies my destination. I am vindicated. This vista holds promise that all my sacrifices have been worth it. From here the village looks to be in impeccable condition. Only a closer examination will reveal the true states of the structures. Were I not a scientist, I would believe that I am personally cursed. Misfortune happens to all, but more frequently than most to me. It seems, though, that my curse is tempered with a bit of luck, for I did not die this day. I suffer only bruises in both pride and body. My scientific mind, of course, knows that this all comes down to impatience and beginning haste, which resulted in poor planning. My curiosity could not wait for spring thaw. If I had but packed cleats and winter poles, which reminds me, now I must locate my accursed pack. Now I am plagued by disembodied voices. This expedition has been rough going so far, but now I must fear losing my mind. The voice startled me, so I began running, a purely adrenaline response, but soon realized the futility of my actions and felt foolish. I have long overgrown the days where an invisible friend would be welcome happenstance, and feel an acute disappointment that it should be so ghoulish as to watch me from afar. That being said, it seems to also be exceedingly polite. I will endeavor to overcome this new difficulty, but fear it may not be an isolated occurrence. What a quaint establishment in a different time I would quite fancy swilling a hearty ale or sipping a sweet mead with the local color. It was held up remarkably. I wonder if I might find an intact cask or two in the undercroft. Never again I intend to never set foot in that building again. Never before could I believe that evil was anything other than poor choices, ill notions, or acts of madness. I suspect that belief has just changed. Now evil has a paradigm and quantitative, tangible representation. I fear that my change in perspective may now interfere with my work. Can I stay true to my reasoned scientific process while dealing with dark, foreboding clouding of my psyche and an immeasurable new profession of variables corrupting my observations? How can I retain rational thought in an irrational environment? After the horrors I witnessed in the tavern hall, I dread to imagine what may lie in the undercroft. Just when I thought that I was inured to surprise, I have come across an archaeological wonder, a working medieval mine. It appears as if the miners just set down their tools for a break and could come back at any moment. Having written that I just suffered quite an acute shudder, I dare not think on souls out of time coming back to pay visit. I have had quite enough experience of that sort. Is it every time that I see this little note thing down here that a new one of these is being added that I should be reading? And that's the reason I'm got so many stockpiled. A place of horror. All sites in this village are worthy of study, yes, of course, but I may entrust the study of this particular site to a colleague. An awful event occurred here, and I would prefer not return. Though it is rich in artifacts of daily life and would normally be an archaeological delight, I suspect it shall abide in my nightmares for a while yet. I bore witness to something I cannot explain with the science I know. It was ethereal. I do not know where to start. I experienced what I can only describe as a dissociative spell. My head still presents a lingering pain, merely an annoyance now, but just moments ago I feared my death was forthcoming. Disembodied voices and incorporeal forms appeared to me amongst the mist at the tower. I felt both inside and beside my own body. Was it the tower that emitted the most awful piercing frequency? I had to flee to maintain my sanity. It is a shame, for I longed to study the fabrication methods and materials used to create such an anachronistic marvel. I could not ascribe a culture nor date to the monument. The only ancient wonders that bear any scrap of resemblance in my mind are the obelisk of Axum or the Abu Daluf minaret, but even those are creative compassions. What was built first, the town or the tower? The black stone is an enigma. For no masonry, joints or marks are visible with even the closest scrutiny. I must unlock these mysteries. I shall return, investigate with a full team. I have found a site truly worthy enough to encompass my life's work. Okay. I don't know what to do, though. Can I not use the pickaxe to mine shit? Get that stuff out of the way? The mine entrance has collapsed. It is covered with snow and debris. Yes, I know. Can I not? I don't need it. I could take or open. What do I do? Small flume. I am confusion. Much confusion. Yes, I'm aware. I don't really want to do this, but maybe. Grabbed a bucket that the blood was in. Great. May end up needing that, I suppose. What am I missing? Definitely missing something. Go back. Aha! Adjacent to the main road, a large open front building stands between two intersections. Substantial wood arcades hold up the second story, Waddle and Daub living quarters. Okay. And you climb the burnt ooze smeared stairs. The central hall is a scorched disaster. Furniture is flipped and demolished. The back door is charred and collapsing. Boards groan and split every time you near the entryway. As you walk towards the next room's doorway, the floor gives way. You free fall, clawing at the open air, only to land with a sickening squelch. Impaled on debris, your life slips away. And I don't have any saves. Great. Yep. Alright, let me go ahead and just do this. Alright. I'm going to leave this here. I'm going to, on my own time off camera, I'll go back through and I will do everything the same way I did it before. I'm just going to go back through and get to the same place I was. Even though I know that going back towards the other side is going to lose me my pack, I'll still do it so that I'm at the same place when we start the next video on this. So I will be doing another one, so I want to finish this game. Just not right now. This video is already 30 minutes long and I don't want it going too long. So, I hope you enjoyed. This is a pretty cool game. I'm enjoying it immensely. I like the style of it. It's a little bit hard to figure out like what I'm trying to do, and the mechanism for how it works are a little bit weird. They're not like anything I've ever seen before, and doesn't give you any kind of explanation of how to do different things. A lot of it seems mostly self-explanatory though, so I should be able to figure it out, kind of playing around for a while. But that is all for now. I'll see you in the next one. Peace until next we meet.